Hi everybody, it's Jen with Caketastic Cakes, and I'm going to show you how to make a soccer themed cake. And this is a real Madrid cake, and if it looks familiar, it's because it was based off of last week's cake. I had messed up the color, so I had to strip it down, get rid of that sky blue and get the rich dark blue going. Yeah, so there's a little bit of an overlap here. So like I said, I scraped off that nice light blue color. I put on my dark blue, and then I realized I lost some of my footage. So I did the same thing as I did last week on the cake. I had my textured icing on the bottom where I had just put extra icing on my spatula, patted around the sides, and then using a French tip, a large French tip or open star tip, I just put dollops all over the top of the cake. And I just filled in the cake, and there's my little doggy saying hi, but that's fine. Okay, so here we are, back to the proper color, and I apologize for that. I was sad when I had to scrape it all off, but anyway, we live and learn, right? All right, so I got my little stars around the bottom, again, just a small French tip. I like the French tips, and I'm adding some different colored sprinkles on top. I have some dark blue beads. I put some gold glitter. Again, I'm working with the team colors, so trying to make it all work together. And I put a little light blue just because it was all very dark. Now, as far as making the little soccer ball pattern on the side, I'm using a small circle cutter. It was maybe half-inch circle and some fondant. Cut out a whole bunch of black and white circles, and I'm going to cut 6 sides off. I'm going to do it for each and every one. And I know that the soccer ball pattern is not actually like that, but I'm not covering a sphere, I'm covering a flat surface. So I just want this, to to have the effect. It doesn't have to be realistic here. So yes, I just cut off 6 sides as evenly as I can. If you're fortunate enough to have, some type of a cutter that does it for you, then you're winning at life, is really how I feel about it. In the meantime, I just cut and cut and cut. So once I have a million of those cut out, I'm just going to press them on randomly. Again, because this isn't an actual soccer ball, it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be all zigzaggy, but I think it kind of adds to the pattern too. It looks a little better this way. Once my pattern is done, I'm going to trim off my textured blue section from my smooth white with some edible gold dust. I'm just going around the top. I've got a little bit of water in that little cup there, and just, like I said, just kind of edging it off. It adds a little color to it, makes it stand out a little bit better, like to have that border kind of go in there. Makes it look a little fancier, not gonna lie. And if anything, I am known for being fancy. Okay. Anyway, now as far as the team logo, I cut out a circle and I freehanded kind of the crown shape. This is not perfect. This was a last minute order. I didn't have a lot of time to make this, and I did the best I could. I was like, hey, this logo is going to be rough, and I was told, okay, that was fine. So, if you have more time, do better than this, please, okay? The effect is there. It ain't the best, I'm not going to lie. There's some things, that we could all improve at, and the Real Madrid logo is apparently one of mine. So yes, I have my circle, I have my crown. I decided to do it into 2 pieces. I thought it might be a little bit easier. I outlined them in gold. I'm doing the best I can. So, E for effort, right? And I am freestyling it. Not probably, it definitely would have come out better if I had some type of a template I was following, but I do not. Throwing caution to the wind here. So I'm using a mixture of my gold shimmer. I'm using some food coloring that's mixed with a little bit of water. And I'm also going to use, and did use a little bit, or will use a little bit, excuse me, some of my food coloring markers that I have. And these things are awesome. And also, if you see me using any tools or supplies that you could use, if you check the link in the description below, it will take you right to my shop. You can check it all out. Okay, now back to the stuff. Once you have, and if you find yourself in a situation like this where you're just doing the best you can, I strongly, strongly recommend that you get yourself some edible markers, food coloring markers, because the black will save your life. It has a nice sharp point on it, and if you outline everything, it just makes it look so much better. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it looked pretty rough here, but by outlining it, it just looks so much better. Now, once they have a chance to set up and dry a little bit, when you put them together, they look lovely. All right, put a little bit of icing on the back of my medallion there, and I'm going to carefully place it on my cake. If you do like I do and you press down right on the design you just painted and drew with your food coloring markers, you're going to get ink on your fingers or some food coloring on your fingers, so be careful you don't end up leaving like finger stamp marks all over the place. Add your crown on top. Again, put a little bit of icing on the back if you need it. And once it is all said and done, you've got a really cool themed soccer cake. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe because it helps me out as well. I've got a ton of other videos out there, so be sure to check them out. And as always, thanks for watching Caketastic Cakes.